black. 8 black. Try yes or no, please.
You may award the try.
Time up.
Leinster went into this game at Thomond Park knowing that a win would see them go second in the table, and coach Joe Schmidt was happy to welcome back Brian O'Driscoll from suspension. A place in the playoffs looked an outside prospect for Munster, but they were brimming with confidence after their win against Harlequins in the Heineken Cup the previous week. There was an exciting opening to the game. Early on, Leinster managed to turn over a Munster attack and in an instant switched defence into attack themselves. Wonderful quick hands from O'Driscoll before Issa Nasewa kicked ahead. Rob Kearney won the sprint for the ball, but as he rolled over the line, there was a question mark over whether he'd got the touchdown. Referee Nigel Owens asked for the assistance of the TMO, who eventually ruled that it was no try and it was a reprieve for Munster.
Okay.
Leinster did assert a degree of control on the game. Ian Madigan is on a hot run with the boot, having landed 14 consecutive penalties in a row in the Pro 12. And he tagged on another 3 in the opening 20 minutes to give Leinster a 9-0 lead. But Munster at Thomond are never going to lie down, and they got back into the game in the 21st minute. Ian Keatley was selected ahead of Ronan O'Gara at out half, and the man from Dublin was an instrumental figure in the opening try of the match. Munster turned the ball over after Nasewa collected Keatley's chip through, and when Conor Murray fed Keatley, he powered over for a try. He missed the conversion, but Munster were back to within 4 points, 5-9. Things improved further for Munster in the 27th minute. From a good attacking platform, they spread the ball wide. Keatley found Felix Jones, who dummied to pass before getting across the line for try number 2. A very good finish by Jones, but Munster perhaps a little fortunate that James Downey's challenge on O'Driscoll off the ball was missed by the officials. Keatley missed the conversion, but Munster were ahead for the first time, 10-9. 6 minutes before the break, Leinster were back in front, and once again it was the ever-reliable boot of Madigan that did the trick. His 4th penalty of the night to give Leinster a slender 12-10 advantage at half-time. Early in the second half, Keatley put Munster back into the lead, 13-12, and within a couple of minutes, the Munster out half was on the mark again with this colossal effort from inside his own half. He did have the aid of a strong wind. The kick had enough, and Munster were 16-12 up. There was very little to choose between the sides, and Madigan was on target with another penalty for Leinster in the 45th minute to narrow the margin to 1 point. Munster 16-15 ahead. Then midway through the second half, Dave Kearney was on the receiving end of a kick to the head from Paul O'Connell as the Munster man tried to hack the ball on. O'Connell was quick to check on Kearney's well-being, and although it looks bad, the blow to the head was clearly unintentional. The Leinster winger received lengthy treatment on the field before being taken off on a stretcher. With 10 minutes remaining, the pendulum swung back in Leinster's favour. They went through phase after phase as Munster defended stoutly, but after 25 phases, Leinster finally got their reward, and it was that man, O'Driscoll, who dived over for the try. The TMO was called to confirm it, and he did so without too much delay. A definite try, and when Madigan converted, it meant Leinster led 22 points to 16. It was to be the last score of the game. Munster pressed for a converted match-winning try in the closing stages, but Leinster defended for all their worth, and at the death, it was O'Driscoll who put the ball out to finish the match. Leinster back to second in the table, and with home advantage in the playoff semi-finals if it stays that way. Munster's slim hopes of a top 4 place are gone now, but they do have a Heineken Cup semi-final to look forward to. After a ding-dong battle at Thomond Park, it finished Munster 16, Leinster 22. Conditions at Cardiff Arms Park could hardly have been worse for the meeting of Blues and Zebre. The Italians travelled to the Welsh capital looking for their first win of the RaboDirect PRO12 season. The pitch was just about playable, although the incessant rain made life uncomfortable for players and supporters alike. Although Blues' hopes of making the Pro-12 playoffs had long since ended, they did have plenty to play for, as a win would secure their place in the Heineken Cup next season following Dragons' defeat at Ulster the previous night. And it was a big night for two stalwarts, Jamie Roberts and Kerry Sweeney, who were both playing their last home matches in Blues colours. Zebre opened the scoring with a penalty from Daniel Halangahu. Lee Halfpenny levelled matters on the 11th minute. And then 7 minutes later, 19-year-old Rhys Patchell, who's been an impressive performer for Blues this season, crossed the line for the first try of the game. It was also Patchell's first try of the campaign. Halfpenny was successful with the conversion, and Blues were 10-3 ahead. Halfpenny and Halangahu exchanged penalties for 13-6 before another Halfpenny penalty made it 16-6, and with a 10-point lead, Blues were looking comfortable. The conditions were awful, but it didn't stop the home side from scoring a second try before the break. A really well-worked effort from inside their own half finished up with centre Gavin Evans storming over the line. The former Scarlets man making it 21 points to 6. And although Halfpenny missed the conversion, Blues were in cruise control. As the weather disimproved into the second half, try-scoring opportunities were few and far between, but 7 minutes from time, after some great football skills from Sam Warburton, Jamie Roberts got a third try of the night for the home side. An emotional evening for the Welsh international in his final home appearance before moving to France. An appropriate end to his wonderful career at the Blues. 26-6 for the home side. And when Halfpenny added the extra 2 points with the conversion, it was 28-6 and an unassailable lead. But it wasn't the last score of the match. As the game drew to a close, Zebre attacked for one last time, and they were rewarded when substitute scrum half Tito Tibaldi's quick thinking set up another substitute, Filippo Cristiano, who got over for the Italians' first try of the match. And when Alberto Chiesa kicked a tremendous conversion, it wasn't going to change the outcome, but it was a good consolation score for the visitors. However, it was Blues night, and Roberts and the soon-to-depart Kerry Sweeney left the Arms Park on a winning note and with the good wishes of the Cardiff faithful. A final score of Blues 28, Zebre 13.